Tuesday night, August 24th. And I'm going to be on Chess TV pretty soon. We're waiting for the Sinquefield Cup to end, and they'll put me on Chess TV. They might raid me, they might not. We'll find out. The round ended. This is the earliest round, I guess. Yeah, I think 7:39 is that's the quickest round. Yesterday was about 8:05. So the rounds are ending earlier and earlier. We had a good day today, 3 wins and 2 draws. Not the results that I wanted, although I'm glad Fabi won. But the other results I could have done without. I'll be doing commentary on the chess.com Twitch for the last 2 rounds, but today they got Creekor. So I got to sleep, even though I couldn't get to sleep. And so on. So we'll wait a few minutes before we do anything of note, because we're going to analyze the 5 games on the stream, and we have to wait for people to get here. But I figure I'd start now, so if they want to raid me or put me on Chess TV, I'm ready. Hoonish J subscribed. Good, good. Yabba Dabba Doo says, go Ben. QZYEU says, hi Ben. Face Chew says first, but the 10th person to say something. Trying to Learn says, go Ben. Go Purple Bird says, go Ben. Trying to Learn says, get that raid. Excelor says, hello Ben. La Rama Esorbol. Yes, everything's red today. Let's see, spelled therefore wrong. Logged in for once. You teach those who can't teach. You spelled ads wrong. Maybe you meant you have ADD. Possible. Play some games today. Never. 68 cent dues. Thanks for the 68 cent dues. Dograb. Or Dobragab. Dobragab. Dubragab. Thaddeus says, go Ben. Ahola, sort of like aloha, but in reverse. All right, let me refresh. So, in case I missed something. My dad is 1,200 feet, and he says he's bad at chess. That means I'm terrible at chess? Well, I don't know your rating, but probably. Detroit Lions winning the World Series this year. What? Did somebody translate to English? Let's see. Benjamin Feingold versus Benjamin Bach. Some show based on a soccer promo. I don't even know what show you're talking about. 456. That's good. It's a sequential kind of rating. Yeah. Also, my microphone's red. See, I got the HyperX. Bum, bum, bum. Yep, I've never seen Ted Lasso or know anything about it. I've heard the words Ted Lasso, but that's it. I got nothing. Dumped all the pasta into the sink. The truth hurts. Let's see. Red to be red lasso. Ooh, that does rhyme. Thanks, Teak DC. If anybody is playing in the CCA tournament in Virginia this weekend, or you know somebody who is, they just moved the hotel. It's not at the site it was at. It's about 11 miles away. So go check your emails and the CCA website and tell your friends if they're planning on going. Like, Trying to Learn might go to that. He lives pretty close to there. But yeah, they moved the tournament. Let's see. Man, Grandmaster Gus, that's like that's a quote from something. I don't know what. Something I watch. Yeah, let me see. I'll read the email to you, then I'll get banned from Twitch. That's how they do it. It's the Atlantic Open. It was at the Sheraton Reston, and now it's at the Westfields Marriott in Chantilly, Virginia. I heard Chantilly, Virginia has a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down. Wiggling, a walking, a giggling, a talk. Lord! Now, one of the guys at the chess club here whose son plays, who is going there, he used to live in Virginia. He said those are both excellent hotels, but the Westfields Marriott, where they moved it to, is better. They moved it to a better hotel. If you had a reservation at the Sheraton Reston, they're moving your reservation with the same rates. So I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Did you ever saw chess games? You mean like, did I have Claude Shannon's games and then I took a saw and I cut them? No, I've never seen one of his games. That's correct. Go Shane Wills 82. Started his first job. He might give 2 cents today. I guess Virginia's okay if you compare it to West Virginia. Then it's better. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on in the tournaments. Let's see what the standings are. Let's see. I guess MVL's in first and Fabi's in second. Something's happening. I don't know. Yay, 500 cent to dues. Thanks, Thaddeus. The hype train is close. Go, Thaddeus. It says that the next person who does something starts a hype train. Let's see. So are these the current standings? MVL's in first, and the American trio of So, Domínguez, and Fabi are tied for second, half a point behind. Rapport's in clear fifth. Shaq, Jeffery, and Sam have 3 out of 7. Svidler has 2.5, and Świercz has 1.5. So Svidler's on the roof, and Świercz is in the basement. Yep. What? I was caught riding dirty. I thought I was white and nerdy. What happened? Dang. Aunt Podian gifted a sub and started the hype train. Hype. Go type train. That's correct. What type of train, though? I'm not privy to why anybody was invited, but it would make sense that they were having an issue, so they got somebody who lived close by. But I don't know. Go hype train. When the hype train ends, I'll start analyzing the games. I'm going to do a more detailed analysis than usual because I'll probably be on Chess TV for a while. I don't know if I'll be on for 2 hours, 3 hours, but something like that. Yeah. Go hype train. What did you guys think of the round today? Did you follow it? That's what we're going to talk about, is what happened in the games. 100 centidues. It was Luda. I taught Luda. Oh, Luscious. Was it Lucius Jackson? Yeah, that MVL game, none of the games were very good today. There were mistakes everywhere, but they were exciting to watch. So that's good. So here's an idea I had when I was driving over here. I have strange ideas. So to get people vaccinated, they should take people like me, fat with a beard. I could wear, like a MAGA hat. I already got red, right? And put us all in southern states. We're undercover. And we go to like rallies and meetings, and we're like, go Trump, and Biden's not the real president. We pretend like we're one of them. And then we go, man, my brother got COVID and he passed away, and I got COVID and I was in the hospital for a month. Man, I wish I got the vaccination, because some people I knew got the vaccination. I thought they was crazy, and none of them got the virus. Dang. Anyway, since I left the hospital, I got double vaccinated and I haven't gotten the virus again. So maybe you redneck, hillbilly, white supremacist pieces of garbage should get the vaccine too. Maybe not the last part, but you get what I'm saying. It shouldn't be hard to trick those people. So, all right, 1,000 centidues. Farty Party 927. Anyway, that's what I was thinking when I was coming over here. Rapport should have won easily. 200 centidues from KC Zat. Go hype train. Yay, Drew's 260 gifted 10 subs. God damn. Put a fence around Louisiana. Why are we skipping some of the other states? They should build a wall like Trump wanted, but, around, some of the southern states. Water Dragon 888 subscribed. I like how Snrub thinks. Anti-governal. Xiong. Now some of the redneck, hillbilly, white supremacist, racist, garbage Republicans are taking some kind of drug that's for, dogs or something. What? They are dogs, I guess. But still, they don't know that. Yeah, let's see. COVID. You live in Tennessee. My condolences. Medicine for cows to prevent COVID? Well, maybe they won't have a cow then. Taking the same medicine as a dog for a cough? That's exactly what Kramer did. Good Seinfeld reference. Now, and drinking out of the toilet? No. Oh, the dog. Stonkfish subscribed. Potato, hooray. Etc. Now, I haven't done an analysis of any of the games. I'm sort of going in cold. But with engine help and the fact that I'm 1,000 points better than you, I should have something to say about the games. Maybe. It hurts when he drinks orange juice. Not quite. He said, it gives me chest pains to answer the phone. Gotta drink juice. Gotta get healthy. Gives him chest pains to answer the phone. Where are these, what are they called? Where are these placebos? Where can we get them? Oh, the Seinfeld reference. Yeah. Now I'm going on to Simpsons. I don't know. Hello to Germany. It's late there. Go, Ben. Come on, Hype Train. When the Hype Train ends, we can, do chess stuff. We're having our month-long tournament tonight. We have one round every Tuesday night, game 75. Spencer's playing on board 1, Archer's playing on board 2, etc. Karen's not playing, so she might come in. She's directing. Curious Chimpanzee subscribed. Go Ben. Nick32681 subscribed. KC Zat 200 cent to dues again. It's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. When are you visiting Kabul? I don't know. They haven't invited me yet. Can you move to Germany? Well, I lived in Belgium and I was in Germany a lot. I played in the Bundesliga for Dortmund for like 3 years. But that was before you were born. So, yeah. Are there any GMs from Afghanistan? Ish don't think so. I used to be a baller. I used to be taller. Yeah, it's true. Now I'm, not a baller. 100 cents to dues. Ezra's Monkey. I wonder if it's better than Ezra's Monkey. Vichy played along in the Bundesliga. Yeah, Vichy played in the Bundesliga even recently. 17 subs, 2,001 bits. I think he still plays in the Bundesliga. And I don't mean chess. I think he plays soccer. Have you ever committed first-degree murder? First degree? No. I stole that joke from Stripes. In Stripes, they said, when they were going into the army, the guy said, have you ever been convicted of a crime? And they go, convicted? No. Yeah, there we go. This is hostile in Germany. Is that like the German kind of hostile? It's hostile? That's funny. Have you heard about Claude Bloodgood? Is he like the bird? Haven't you heard? Claude Bloodgood is the word. How's Kamer doing? Kamer was actually the first choice for Pulp Fiction. And they did some, to see how it would work out. He tried out for the part. And it was pretty easy for Uma Thurman. She was like, Vincent, disco. But yeah, he didn't work out because he was not born yet. Otherwise, it would have been fine. I played you to a loss, pawn and king ending in 5-minute turning ever chess club. Was that 30 years ago? Or was that more than 30 years ago? Jurnal Morat Gurgay. I don't understand. But sorry for reading it wrong. Thanks for the sub. Who's the best player who's been in my chess center? I guess Nigel. We've had Nigel and Mora Diabati and Zapata and me. I'm trying to think of other GMs that have been here. I can't think of any other ones, but I'm sure there have been. Or maybe they're not. I think that's the only 4 GMs who have been here. Stuart Rachels was here, but he's not a GM. But he's one of the top 5 players who's been here. No, he didn't play. He just came to watch for a while. All right, let's analyze the games because the chat's getting, sort of inane and shallow and pedantic. So first game we'll look at is Rapport Domínguez. I just did a video on Rapport on Wednesday, I guess 6 days ago. It's on the Chess Club YouTube page. Or you could have watched it live last week, which is unlikely, but possible. Okay, so we saw QGA, Queen's Gambit accepted. Many moves white can play here. Knight F3 is the most common. Queen A4 check is very uncommon, and that's just Rapport's game. He likes to play lines that aren't highly thought of, and he has his own twist. So if you play C6 and queen takes C4, that actually transposes into a queen C2 Slav. That's playable for both sides. Knight BD7 is sort of passive. So Domínguez played a theoretical line that I'm not familiar with because I don't play the Queen's Gambit accepted with black, and I've never played Queen A4 check because I don't play that move. I play E3, so I don't really know this position very well. Okay, so Knight C6, and he took on C4. And one of the engine lines, which is very funny to me, is Bishop E6, Queen A4, Bishop D7, Queen C4, and repeat for a draw. It's a little silly, but Okay, and then Domínguez played a pawn sacrifice that I'm not familiar with, which obviously he is. It seems reasonable for black to want, his bishops open and his pieces out when there's a queen on C4, and white isn't very well developed. So that seems reasonable. Knight takes is engine approved. Knight takes, pawn takes, and knight G4. So now it's like a very strange Budapest, because like D takes and knight here with like the C pawn and the D pawn missing. Okay, so black's bishops can both get out. Black and white's pieces are ridiculous except for his queen, and black wants to win his pawn back. Now, I'm guessing this is preparation because I've never seen this position before, but that doesn't mean that it's not well known. I think if Domínguez didn't know the position, he wouldn't play E5. I think he would play something more safe. So he must, know what he's doing. And so forth. Yes. Move, you are really annoying. I agree. You should watch somebody else's stream, or you should subscribe to my stream. Then you won't watch any ads. But I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll just ban you forever. There you go. All right. Now you don't have to watch the stream anymore if you don't want. You can just watch somebody else's stream. And we don't have to hear from you anymore. All right. That's right. I haven't had an ad for months, says the person who's subscribing. Yeah, if you're not subscribing to the channel, you're basically just stealing this content. So if you're not going to donate or subscribe, you should probably watch somebody else's channel. Okay, now white played Bishop F4, trying to keep his pawn. White could also just play something like Knight C3 and give back the pawn. But, he figures I'm a pawn up, I'll stay a pawn up. Yay, Dr. Krieger 69. Hooray. Yeah. As long as everybody's banned. Yeah. That's right. Curious Chimpanzee is correct. Your Treo gifted a sub. Yeah. Lancer Ulysses subscribed. Ayo. Let's see. That's right. Okay, back to whatever it is I was doing. Okay, he played c6. So this blocks this diagonal, so there's no annoying checks. And the queen can come to b6, or it could come to a5 with check. So c6, very reasonable. Makes the king safer, makes the queen better, and controls some key squares. 300 sentators. Hooray. Should we unfollow? Sure, if you want. You could unfollow. You can do whatever you like. It's a free country. I mean, here it is. And when I say free, not really, but, you know, technically. Remember, if you don't like my stream, then don't watch it. If you don't like food that you eat, don't eat it. If you don't like the TV show you're watching, change the channel. If you don't like music that's on the radio, first I would say, what's a radio? And second of all, I would say, change the station. You're not required to watch the stream and then spend all the time complaining about it. You don't have to do that. You can just not watch it. LJ Ganzi, $9.99. Hooray. Yeah, Pérez is pretty good. Yeah. You don't want to pay taxes? Don't pay taxes. Easy. Man, I mean, you asked such an easy question. Delicious. Okay, so e3 makes sense. Get the bishop out, castle, etc. g5. Now, if you showed me this position and said Domínguez was playing Rapport, who has what color, I would be guessing wrong. Because this is a Rapport kind of move, and white is, you know, pretty solid and up a pawn. So I would have said that Rapport was black. But yeah, the engine says this move's good. It says good, good. All right, so he has to retreat. And he plays queen a5 check. He could also play h5 and h4. Maybe h5 is what Rapport would play. But the engine likes queen a5 check more. You can't play queen c3, which stops the check and defends the pawn, because bishop b4 would win your queen. So queen c3 is bad. So he played knight to d2. I think the engine prefers knight c3. In fact, to be perfectly honest, I don't understand why you would go here instead of here. I don't know what his reasoning was. I guess in like 7 or 8 moves, he could play knight here and knight here. But if he goes here, he can only go here, which is where this knight can go. So he might have thought this was more flexible. All right. Bishop e6, always retreat. And he long castled. And again, this seems more like Rapport's playing black than white. Because, you know, black's playing sort of fast and loose. On the other hand, this queen has moved several times. And white hasn't castled yet. And black's pieces are pretty good. And he can win his pawn back at his leisure. Also at his leisure. Now in this position, the engine suggests a move that I wouldn't consider, which is to long castle, because, I mean, this pawn's not defended. But he did long castle, so these guys are good. Yeah, and the engine's not a fan of queen takes a2 because of bishop c4. All right. And once again, Domínguez played a reasonable move. The engine likes h5, but he played bishop b4, developing his last minor piece. a3. Now white has the 2 bishops. Bishop b3 is okay. Probably better again is h5, but this move's all right. That way he wants to ruin the pawn structure after queen c3. Now Trying to Learn texted me during the game, before I had seen anything, And he was surprised that Rapport didn't play queen f5, which would force a draw. That's not surprising at all. He has white. He's up a pawn. He has the two bishops. Now, what Trying to Learn doesn't understand, and what none of you will ever understand, and I say it every stream, but you guys don't understand it. You forget everything I say right when I say it. You guys, what you do is you look at their ratings, and then you decide who's playing for the win. That's how you play your own chess games. And good players don't do that. Good players look at the position, and they make the best move. Doesn't matter if he's playing Magnus, he's playing me, or God forbid he's playing you, he plays the best move. If queen c3 was losing, he would play queen f5 check. If he thinks after queen c3 he's equal or better, he's playing queen c3. He doesn't care who his opponent is. You don't play chess like that. If you want to play good chess, you play good chess. You don't look at your opponent's rating and go, oh, that's how I play chess. That's just what you guys do. Because that's why you're not good, is you don't care what the best move is. You care what your opponent's rating is. Ridiculous. So in any game that's being played in this tournament, irrespective of who's playing whom, the player with white is playing for an advantage and wants to win, unless it's Wesley So, because he literally doesn't care. Wesley So would give you guys a 10-move draw, except for one thing. Okay, so if he thought he was better after queen c3, and he is, then he's not going to repeat. Also, always repeat. But this is repeating too much, because then the game's going to end. Manmoth 1990 subscribed, 40 months. Hooray. Yeah. Okay. It's important to agree to a draw when you're winning so your rating goes up. Or wait a minute. No, it's the opposite. Right. And even when I say, see, this is why I stopped teaching. I would say things like, don't give your queen away for free, and I would get pushback. Now, something like that, I normally didn't get pushback. Not normally. But if I said things that they didn't know, they would be like, yeah, he's probably wrong. If you want lessons, then and you're not going to listen to the teacher, don't get lessons. Which is, instead of them quitting, I just don't give them lessons anymore. So when I give you these bits of wisdom, if somehow you could follow them, which you can't, but if you could, you would be better at chess. One of my best students ever in a short period of time was an 1800 player, and he was mildly autistic, although he had a PhD in math. And he was an adult, and he did exactly what I told him. So if I told him something, that's what he did. He didn't know that he could not do that. So I'm like, never resign, never offer a draw. And he's like, okay. So he never resigned, never offered a draw, because I told him not to. And if I said, like, always play this and never play that, he'd be like, okay. Then he would do that, because, he listened. And he was 1800 for about 12 years, and he was 2000 in 2 months getting lessons from me. Because, and when he was like 2000, hanging up on my mom, man, harsh. When he was like 2005, he played in the expert section of the Kings Island Open. He was the lowest rated player, and he tied for first and won like 800. And he kept the price check on his table. He didn't want to cash it because then it wouldn't be on his table to remind him that he got first. When I came over for a lesson once, I said, "Are you not putting that in the bank because you want to look at it?" And he goes, "Yeah." Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Queens are overrated. Yeah. Ben doesn't mean to insult. He's just joking. No, I mean to insult. Yeah, you're all bad and you should feel bad. Yeah. I've never had a student other than him that listened to me. Ever. None of them. Like out of 100, 200, 300 students, none of them would follow what I said. They would do something and I said, "Why'd you do that? I told you not to." And they would be like, "Well, it was raining and, my arm hurts and I had my toe amputated and I just watched Mad Men Marathon. So I did the opposite of what you said." And I'm like, all right. Yeah. Yeah, Grandmaster Gus never listening. Terrible. Didn't Puzzled Pawn listen? No. He did not. And then some. Yeah. Puzzle pawn in a slow game had like queen in 5 versus rook in 4. So he's like +8. And he gave up his queen for the rook on purpose for the winning king and pawn ending, which was drawn. And I mean, if you knew how many times I said don't do stuff like that. And he said, I thought I was winning. And I'm like, that's not how you play chess. You don't intentionally lose material. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Whatever I tell anybody, they don't listen. They don't care what I say. They don't understand what I say. And they just want lessons so they can tell their friends they get lessons from somebody. You know, that's why most people want lessons. Like the parents want lessons for their kids so they can tell the other parents, my kid gets coached from this GM. Yeah. And then the kids just play Minecraft the whole lesson and never listen to the teacher. And parents are drunk and stoned somewhere. They don't care. Yay, I'm on Chess TV. Now all the drunken stoned people are watching me. Yeah. Hooray. It's funny because it's true. Yeah. Yeah, pushback means they don't want to listen. Yeah, that's what it means. They don't have their own mind. If they had their own mind, then things would be different. Okay, so Rapport. Now, Rapport, if he was my student, you could see how he was listening to me. Always repeat. See? Then he played queen c3 because never take a draw. Okay? So White's pawn structure is shallow and pedantic, but he has an extra pawn. He has 2 bishops. If he loses his extra pawn, he still has a pawn majority on the king side, and it's hard to make a passed pawn here, even though these pawns are split. It actually makes it harder to make a passed pawn. Okay, so White's slightly better. Check. King e2 is actually the only move, because if you go here or here, the rook comes in with devastating effect. All right. Now he wants to take this in case of, some move attacking the knight. And so far, the players have played very well. I would guess 98-99 if we did a report. And if we did a report, probably White played close to 100 because his name is Rapport. Yeah. Minecraft chess. Let's see. Hey, I'm not drunk. Incorrect. For once, I'm not stoned. I don't believe that. Rapport would listen. Chess Dojo Live is rating with a party of 42. Thanks, Chess Dojo Live. That's correct, Nick. That is absolutely correct. You've never been more correct. I would give you a sub if you weren't already a sub. Nick32681, he just said it like it is. The students and the parents of the students don't want people to get better or to listen to you. They want you to tell them they're good. Yo, you did great. That's all they care about. That's America. Yeah. When the student doesn't want to get better, they just want to get praise, then, the parents' job, they don't know what their job is because they're stupid. Parents' job, all parents are stupid, by the way, all of them. No exception. The parents' job is to tell their kid they're great and say you can do whatever you want and you're improving. And even though we don't really love you, we love you. I don't know if they should say that we don't really love you part, but, okay. And instead, the parents just act nuts. So the parent's supposed to tell the kid they're the greatest at everything and then try not to, smirk or roll their eyes. And then the coach's job is to tell the kid how to play better. Like, you did this, that was wrong, do this, that's better. And then the kid goes to the next game and plays better. But that's not what anybody wants. The parents want you to tell them, your kid's a genius, you're the greatest parent ever. Then they just keep paying for lessons. They don't care if their kid gets better. It's not just in chess, as Nick points out. That's in everything. Yeah. The parents always act crazy. Now, I've had a couple of non-crazy parents because the exception proves the rule. One of them was Matt Larson. His parents were not crazy. They said, here's money, teach our son. Next month, here's more money, teach our son. Here's money, teach our son. That's it. And then I told the son, roar, and he said, okay. And he went from 1150 to 2400, and he's an IM. And now he's getting a PhD in math at Stanford. And that's because his parents said, good, do that. And then his coaches said, do this. And then that's what happened. And he was very interested in what he was interested in, which was math and chess. Yeah, I don't hate his parents. Yeah. I've never said that. I don't hate somebody's parents. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to whatever it is I was doing. Basically, everybody's terrible. So, yeah. Yeah. No, I tell the parents to go away. If they're telling their kid you should do this and that, I'm like, go away. Go to Starbucks. Do what you're good at. And they're like, I am good at going to Starbucks. They agree that they are good at that. Sorry. I can't make anybody a master because nobody listens to me. But Julia Shetty was good too. Nicest parents ever. Great Indian food. He went from like 1200 to 2530. And then the last game we played, he beat me. And it's funny, he said, the reason I beat you is because of what you taught me. So he wanted to watch Michigan play either football or basketball. I forgot because he went to Michigan and he had the white pieces. So I offered him a draw like on move 9 and he declined and he beat me. He said, yeah, because you were my coach. I wasn't then, but I was before. You told me never to take a draw. Otherwise, I would have accepted and watched the Michigan game because he wanted to watch the Michigan game. But he's not allowed to accept a draw. He remembered that, so he beat me instead. Hoisted by my own petard. Okay, now in this position, Rapport played the second best move. That looks very reasonable. The best move is e4. That would be very hard for me to play. Then rook a5, and these pawns are both attacked. So like this is the engine line. The king obviously can't go to d3. This is still equal though. So this isn't really better than h4. h4 makes more sense. You're trying to activate the rook and, take this and so forth. Okay, moving on up. Okay, now in this position, it's funny. Black has a way that draws immediately. He has a way where he's worse, and otherwise he has to resign. So one move draws, one move he's worse, and then otherwise the game's over. And Domínguez found the precise sequence of moves so that he would be better. So that he would draw the game. Maybe he was better. Yeah. Okay, and the precise sequence is 95 check, takes. Now if rook takes, you're down a piece. So always play bishop f1. And now, after bishop d4, you must play rook check here, and then check. This is all forced. The king can't take because you lose f2. Check. And everything's a draw now because you're winning this, and it's opposite colored bishops. Yeah, and this is just a dead draw. The engine slightly prefers black, although I'm not sure why, but it's just a dead draw. And they had to find a repetition, draw by reputation. And they found one. Yay. Okay, and draw. So, very well-played game. And, I think Rapport was better, and then Domínguez just played really accurately and held the game. I would guess they both played at least 98. So let's have a look, because we got to kill time somehow. Don't forget, everybody's terrible. Not at chess, just as a person. Yeah, speaking of math, my stepson Holden, also known as Karen's son, is leaving on Thursday to go to MIT. Hooray for Holden. That almost rhymes. Math and chess go together like that, son. Ooh. Man, Jeffery played like ass today. Oh, my mom left a voicemail. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. You're not transcribing the voicemail well. It doesn't say anything. Boo, boo. All right. I'll have to listen to it. Terrible. All right, let's see what it says. It says 99.4 versus 99.4. God damn. 36 best moves to 35 best moves. No inaccuracies, no mistakes, no blunders, no missed wins for either player. Damn. Neither player ever had an advantage. Man, chess is hard. Yeah, so these guys are pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, these, you know, they didn't get their 2750 ratings, you know, in a correspondence class. Or maybe it was a correspondence class. Solid. Spencer's going to MIT. That's not how you spell Spencer. And no. I said my stepson, not my son. Terrible. Now you should jokingly say Archer's going to MIT because he's my stepson. Yeah. And so on. Yeah, no one listens. Terrible. Okay, next. You're so next. Yeah, this game was very disappointing. Wesley just outplayed Sam and then didn't try to beat him. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Wesley. Yeah, poker's not solved. Did you went to Leuven when you were in Belgium? I did go to Leuven. Yeah. Ken West is going to MIT. That is correct. Grandmaster Ken West. That's right. You know who has my GM title is the chess club in St. Louis. They have it framed. I never got it. It's always just framed there. I think they just put it like in a storage room where they threw it out. Bospo123 subscribed. Thank you. All right, good chat. Okay, Wesley played the English. That means he wants to win. They played this line that was played before in the last few events. Somehow this position's getting popular. I think Sam actually won with white against maybe Svidler in the World Cup. You know, maybe. I don't know. Okay. All right, so far pretty boring. And white is slightly better because black's queen is going to have to make some more moves. Castles. Not very exciting. Queen, he put it in H. And he attacks the bishop. Did he see it? Yes. And queen g5 is actually a great move. And as I said before, yesterday and when I was streaming the tournament live with Hess, you know, the Ilya Gurevich story that 4-2 is better than 3-3. And here Wesley has 4-2 versus 3-3, which means Sam doesn't have any center pawns. So white's should be better here. Now here, Sam made a bad move. He should just play bishop g4, developing a piece. And instead he traded queens, developing white's piece. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Knight c7, always retreats. Very passive move. Attacks the knight. And he wants to trade the dark squared bishops because this bishop is not as good as that bishop, especially when Sam blocked it with his knight. Okay, so white uses his pawn majority and He keeps using his pawn majority. And this is just much better for white. White's, pawn on e5 is annoying. This is all very passive. d5 is under control. That's why black didn't play knight d5. And, white can start pushing on the king side. So it's just a nice advantage for white. Okay, he tries to get his pawn majority going. The engine says this is terrible because it's terrible. And it allows Wesley to infiltrate the dark squares, but he doesn't do it. So Wesley has two good moves here. He could play knight a4, trying to come here, or he could play f4, connect 4. He played the third best move, trading rooks, never trade. Still much better for white. Never play f6. Boo. Yeah. And this position is just bad for black. The pieces are terrible. The king is probably worse here than you would normally think of as a king in the center. Because in the endgame, you want your king in the center, but this king's pretty open. So it's not so great. Okay, f4, that's okay. Bishop e6 slips sort of natural. f5 is okay. g4, white's just better. Knight f7. h4, put it in h. Yeah, it's just very pleasant position for white. Black doesn't really have a lot of counterplay. Yeah, and now I don't understand why Wesley didn't try to win, but he decided to draw here. I mean, the engine really likes white. So, I mean, white's not winning, but like black can't really do anything. So he should be trying to press on his king side and putting pressure on the king. And this bishop is bad. So it's just like really nice. So rook e1's okay. The king got off, went to the back rank. Now king f4 makes a lot of sense. And then try to go forward. It's not clear what black should do. And he just played here and didn't try to win. So Wesley was better the whole game. Sam defended okay. And then he didn't try to win. I don't know. It's very weird with Wesley. Sometimes Wesley tries really hard to win, but usually he just wants to draw. But I don't know why. Wesley likes to draw a lot. I don't know. I would prefer winning. I'm not as good as Wesley, but if I was, I would try to win more because then I'd be as good as Wesley. So, yeah, he literally doesn't care. Okay, so those were two draws. Again, both players definitely played in the 90s. I think white played better. So I'm going to say he played 98, and that Sam played like 96.8. Something like that. Yeah, he just is like, I played long enough. And so forth. Nihal Sarin, he's great. Sam released Wesley's parents. Which parents? How many parents does he have? It's true. That's right. When they put their hands out, Sam was resigning and Wesley was agreeing to a draw. So it's very strange. Yeah, it was a strange, happenstance. All right, what you got for me? 97%? That's pretty good. That's not as good as, Alabama Worley in God, Ben, you're old. In True Romance, she's 100%. 100%. 100% monogamous. That's what she said. Very suspicious. 97.7 for Sam and only 97.2 for Wesley. Which doesn't make sense because they both had 0 mistakes, 0 blunders, and 0 missed wins. Wesley had 0 inaccuracies, and Sam had 1. Not sure how he played better. It doesn't make any sense. 21 best moves to 22 best moves. I mean, they played the same number of excellent, and So played more good moves and played less inaccuracies. Man, that best move must have really helped. All right, so everybody's playing really well, and the game's end in a draw, and now we're going to see 3 decisive games. Jimbo Matthews subscribed. Hooray. Yeah, they repeated and drew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right. Sam held the draw. How do I know everything? It's not easy. Yeah. Probably because, I'm omnipotent because I'm not omnivorous. Omnivorous? Nah, I was close. And it's tough to make these jokes because I'm a vegan. I don't even understand my own jokes now. Yeah. Anyway, don't forget that. If Holden were my kid, I'd remind him that you're an MIT graduate no matter what your final GPA was. What? Yeah. His GPA will be 4.0 or higher. Otherwise, he's out of the family. To lower certain things that used to happen at MIT. First year at MIT, you don't get grades. You just get pass-fail. There's no grades. Then second year, then you got to buckle down. But you know what's happening. Yeah. Much better. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, MIT is really not good enough for Holden, but that's the best we can find. So hopefully he'll, find somebody there that, is good at math. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. Okay, so this game was pretty pathetic. Jeffery just outplayed MVL, then Jeffery made a horrible blunder. And, Jeffery horribly blundering isn't, I don't know. I guess Jeffery's just not used to playing 2,700 plus every round. But I don't know. He's played a lot of 2,700s. So this was very disappointing for me because Jeffery was playing pretty well. And then this game, he just, he collapsed. Okay, so they played 1,000 moves of theory in a Berlin. Very exciting. MVL's had white in this position like 1 billion times. Okay, and I don't really know the theory because I would never play such a ridiculous opening with either side. If you're white against the Berlin, you should definitely play D3. And if you're black, you shouldn't play the Berlin because, you're not a baby. You're an adult. Well, he's 20, so it's close. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure this is all theory. So black has 2 bishops, and white has a 4-3 majority, and black's 4-3 majority isn't very good. And the chess.com won't let you castle after you've moved your king a couple of times. Okay, so this is all very reasonable. Everybody's happy. And in this position, after h5, black is at least fine. And here, MVL made a very bad move. So I'm guessing they're out of theory now because I've never seen bishop e7, a5. I don't know. White's position looks sort of normal. He wants to push his kingside pawns. Black's position looks a little odd, but it's fine. And here, white should play king g3 to maintain the balance, but he played a bad move, f5. And that bad move won him the game. Because Jeffery played very badly at this point. Here, black's probably better, but it's a draw. But he should definitely play g6. He blundered instead. And, what he did was so bad, it was ridiculous. The engine move is f6, which seems reasonable. If you play rook f1, then we could play like Jeffery did, but we would be a tempo up, at least. Okay, so f6, bishop b4. And the idea is just to take this. White's pawn structure is ruined, and the bishop just sits here. And the problem is this pawn is hanging. So if you're like, I don't want him to do this, and you do something about your knight, you just lose a pawn. And in fact, the engine does say this is like almost playable, but it goes here and saves the pawn. So black's just better here, because black's either going to do this, or black's going to win a pawn. And the bishop has a nice e6 square. What Jeffery did was unthinkable. He traded and then played g6. Never trade, but Jeffery doesn't listen. That's just a blunder. I guess he missed. I mean, it's really obvious what he missed for him, not for you guys. You guys don't know what's going on. And probably Jeffery just missed the next move. And the reason we miss these moves, but usually 2,700 players don't, is when g6 is played, you're focusing on this. So Jeffery thought rook f1, e6, f6, something like that's going to happen. And he's analyzing those moves, and he's like, well, that's good for black. And he's right. And if he had played g6 in this position, it would have been the same, except white wouldn't have this crushing move that he had in the game, which Jeffery should see. Jeffery not seeing it is, frankly, terrible. And after trading, thinking he's opening up this for himself, white plays rook h1 and he's completely winning. And obviously, if the pawns are on h5 and h3, rook h1 doesn't do anything. But now it is winning. And then Jeffery totally collapsed here. You know, when other 2,700s are losing, including Jeffery, you know, fight hard and never lose and so forth. But here he fell apart. He lost immediately. Boo. CL Smith subscribed. Yay. Yeah. Yeah, HG is just incredible blunder because he obviously just didn't see this. Okay. Now he kept playing badly, but I mean, he's lost, but rook g8's the only move. There is no other move. And the idea is if you play rook g8 instead of rook f8, which he did play, then your bishop doesn't get trapped. So after f6, bishop here, and the knight moves, which is what happened, a3 and c3 are trapping your bishop. But if your rook's on g8, always play bishop f8. So rook f8 is very bad. Rook g8 actually makes more sense anyway and keeps f8. Now white has a big advantage, maybe winning, but this is losing it instantly. The game's just over. Now, if he trades, never trade, and takes on f5, yay, I want a pawn. Then check, bishop c5, and now you know what it's like when God has a gun. Okay, so Jeffery played rook f8, which is bad. He should play rook g8. Now he has to not lose a piece. If his rook was on g8, he could, take here. But as it takes there now, he loses a piece. So he played this move, which is ridiculous. I mean, I don't even know what to do here. Ugh. Ugh. I'm looking at what the engine says, and I can't keep my food down. All right, I resign. Jesus. Man, what the engine gives, the engine actually gives this eventually. All right. c3. Now Jeffery's PO'd. I mean, he's losing a piece, so. c4 is explosive. I wonder if c4 is the best move. Yeah, the engine says every move wins. Right now it's saying c4. Taking this also wins, but c4 is mean. Okay, so he took, and he saved his bishop. And he saved his bishop. Bam! Man, truth hurts. And then he resigned. Yeah, I'm threatening everything. I don't even know what I'm not threatening. Man, it says it's plus 10. Truth hurts. Yeah, the rook has no squares. This rook has no squares. The king has no squares. And the bishop can go here, but not sure why you'd want to go there. So the problem is, if you play the obvious takes, then I play rook h7, threatening f7 check. Also, rook e7 check wins immediately also. So rook d7's forced. and then I just win a rook, and then I queen. If you play b6, which is the other move suggested by the engine, then I play rook h7, and I'm threatening to take this and so forth. And then it just says resigns. There's just no move here. Yeah. So after e6, he resigned. I mean, just really bad HG. It's lost the game in like one move. Then rook f8 is also bad. If he had played rook g8, he could have fought on and lost in 30 more moves instead of in 4 more moves. Wu-Tex Clan. Man, they're nothing to mess with. Normally I would say something else, but we're on Chess TV. Subscribe with Prime. Prime. Yeah. Jeffery has the bishop pair. Yeah. I mean, Karen starts the game with the best pair, but it doesn't mean that she wins. In poker and in chess. Man, that was the best joke ever. I mean, what? Frankly, ridiculous. So I mean, just terrible game by Jeffery. H takes G. If he had played G6 instead of HG, I mean, he probably would have drawn, but he might have won. Probably draw. Yeah, I mean, just giving up the H file, horrible. Just missing rook H1, I guess. I don't know. And then white crashed through. Boo. Yeah. Yeah, that's why Lance Armstrong isn't very good at poker. He never starts with a pair. Man, that joke was pretty ballsy. Man. The other reason he doesn't win a poker is he never flops the nuts. Ooh. Anatoly Korchnoi, good game. Not funny is incorrect. Yeah, where's the period? I've been drinking it the whole stream. That's right. The jokes are dope. Very good. Bicycle, bicycle. Thanks, Farty Party 927. You're the best. You're dying. What were you, the drummer for the Rolling Stones? Oh, snap. R.I.P. And then some. Still 80's pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. Lying and bluffing. That's right. Yeah, R.I.P. It's funny, of the Rolling Stones, probably, not definitely, but probably he did the least amount of drugs and he died first. Yeah, terrible. Remember on Family Guy when Death went to, I said his name today. I say it every day. Oh, Spencer hates him. Peter Frampton's house. And he says, you're dead. It's time to come. He says, what? I can't be dead. Are you sure you're not looking for Keith Richards' house? See, that was funny. Yeah. Go Keith Richards. That's right. We can't do any drugs because Keith Richards already did them all. I forgot what comedian said that, but I was telling Karen that some comedian said that before you guys were born. Yeah. Oh, was Dennis Leary? He would say that. Robert Loggia. R for Robert Loggia. O for, oh my God, it's Robert Loggia. Yeah. At first, I wasn't sure about his comedy. I was pretty leery, but I thought it was okay. Brian Jones died before you were born. Use D instead of T. What? Yeah, Quizhead, you gotta say no to drugs. Or say no to trugs, I guess, in yours you would say. Keith Richards is immoral. All right, let's get to the next game. Bam! Okay, this is Svidler Świercz. This was the person in last versus the other person in last. Although Svidler was last, or maybe they were tied for last. I don't know. Anyway, nobody cared because they were in last. They played a Ruy Lopez. It's funny, unlike the Chess 24 stream a few weeks ago when they were talking about the World Cup, Grishuk said, that somebody said, possibly him, that Karyakin is the best player in the world in the Ruy Lopez. And Svidler's like, what? Because Svidler thought he was, which obviously he's not. But yeah, probably Karyakin. Yeah, it used to be Karpov, so forth. Okay, anyway, so they played a mainline Ruy Lopez, the old main line. Okay, he wants to play the Marshall perhaps. So he plays the anti-Marshall. Okay, and they get this really boring position. And Świercz pretty quickly, messed up. Yeah, he played knight d7, which I'm not a fan of this line for black. I've played knight d7, bishop f6 in the Ruy Lopez myself before you guys were born. To thwart this, because you're putting a lot of pressure on d4. And he played knight c5. Yeah, all right, guess that's okay. The problem with taking this, which is what you want to do, is this is actually good for white. Takes, rook a7. And then, white's just better here because this pawn's no good. Just a better pawn structure for white. Black will win this pawn, but the a6 pawn's going to be bad. So this is just better for white. Otherwise, you'd like to take the bishop, but, you got own stuff to deal with. Okay, and then finally he saved his bishop. B4, that can't be good because the point of moving the knight here is to play bishop f6 and stop d4. So I don't like the way black is playing. White just played d4. So I'm not a fan. Take. And he went back to d7. All right. Okay. Now, so far, I would say white is outplaying black, but it's still like in the draw zone, just white's better. Because, black played here, here, and here, which doesn't make any sense. And as a consequence, they traded a couple of pawns and a rook. But, white played d4, knight d2, knight f1, bishop c2. White made moves he wants to make. Okay, now Świercz played queen a1, which is very risky, and the engine says it's okay. However, his later play is not okay. When you play risky chess, sometimes it doesn't work. Knight e3, and knight e3 is a great move. It tempts black to make a bad move, which he did. So black should play bishop f6, as I've indicated, or get his rook into the game somehow. But he made the losing move here. White's played better than black this game, but not that much better, just a little better. And then he played queen c3, and that pawn is semi-poisoned. Very dangerous move, because now we play knight d5, threatening everything. And he went back to a1, which, the computer says is okay. So now, the engine wants Svidler to play bishop a4 with the obvious idea of taking the bishop, and then this bishop isn't defended. It also stops the queen from escaping. So when you play rook e3, which he did, you could play rook a3, and the queen can't escape the a line. I'm actually hard-pressed to understand why he didn't play bishop a4, because he has a threat. Then when black stops the threat, somehow, then rook e3 to a3, and he's played rook e3 right away. So that gives away some of his advantage, but still good. And the reason I don't like this queen c3, queen a1 is this knight is good, the queen is on the same square it was, and if worse comes to worse, this pawn's hanging, so this doesn't make any sense what he did. Okay, he played queen a7. The engine says queen a8's better, but I don't know. Seems about the same to me. Feline 999 subscribed. Okay, now he plays bishop a4 when the queen's already escaped. It's still the best move. Threatens takes and takes. Bishop d8, that's also the best move. Rook a3, and now we're not kidding. I guess that's why queen a8 is better than queen a7. Then black has a choice. And here black doesn't really have a choice. Play queen a6. I would have played queen b8, but the engine actually likes queen a6 more. It just says they both lose. The problem with queen b8 is I go here, and if you move your knight, you lose this knight. Damn. Yeah, this is just white winning a piece. I'm just winning a piece here. I mean, obviously this is ridiculous, bishop on d8. I mean, he played queen a8, queen a1, queen c3, queen a1, queen a7, queen b8. You kidding me? What do you mean? Okay, so he played queen a6. That's the best move. Still losing. Bishop c2 is good, attacking the queen. Knight a5 is the engine move. Bishop d2 is pretty obvious. c6, defending his knight and attacking this knight. Knight e3, and just black's position is absurd. I mean, knight's pinned, and bishop is blocked, and bishop is blocking the rook, and I mean, it's a ridiculous position. The engine actually says white's +4, because black's position is so silly. So when you play queen a1, and you take a pawn that's semi-poisoned, you better play like perfect afterwards. And even though you played okay, it didn't matter. You can't move your queen 27 times, and you lose. So now all of white's pieces are great, and all of black's pieces are shite. Yeah. This part of the lecture is brought to you by Ginger GM. Oh my God, it's not beer. Terrible. What would Ginger GM say? Let's see. U.S. children need our help. Oh, but I'm busy. All right. Okay. The game ended with queen b5. That's the engine move. Bishop takes a5. Bishop takes a5. Bishop d3. The queen's almost trapped. It's a trap. If you play the obvious queen b6, then knight c4 just forks the queen and the bishop. And that's what he did. If you play queen b4, which is the other move, rook b3, skewers here and just wins a piece. And then black's down a piece for nothing. So you play queen b6, knight c4, queen b4, playing for tricks. But there aren't really any tricks. Every move wins. Rook b3, rook a4 wins. Rook takes a5 wins. Rook b3 wins. Knight b2. God damn. Losing everything over here. Didn't resign. Very insulting. And then he resigned. Because if he wins the piece, he doesn't really win the piece. I mean, that game was just like a simul game. It was like Svidler was giving a simul to like some, A players. The Świercz just played terrible that game. Queen a1, queen c3, queen a1, queen a7, queen a6, queen b5, queen b4. Come on. What? And then he kept trying not to lose his knight and his queen, but he was not successful. He's just losing his pieces. So very bad play by Świercz, just outclassed by Svidler. Svidler's having a really bad tournament, but Świercz isn't really at his level. So, if I'm losing all my games to people my own rating, I can still beat a 1700, usually, not always. Obviously, they're not that far apart in rating, but it is, Svidler at his best was top 5, 6 in the world, and Świercz at his best is top, 13 in the U.S., so... Yeah, the truth hurts. So he just outclassed him that game. Svidler played a good game. Svidler was white. Świercz played a bad game for him, and so he just got rolled. Yeah. I mean, it was like Svidler was smoking a fat one because Świercz just got rolled. God damn. Yeah. And so forth. Yeah, I mean... I'm guessing white played like 98 and black played like 84. Terrible. What does he mean? Let's have a look. Shan't we? Yes, we shan't. We could also Sargisian if you want. Oh, wait, we could do both. Shan't, Sargisian. I'm a doctor listening to your stream in surgery. God damn. You should be banned in your patient's children. Yeah, the cap score is going to be like 98 something to like 84 something. Even if I'm wrong, it's still going to be that. 94%, or I'm going to let it finish. That's what she said. What'd you say, Dariusz hardly works on chess? No. You heard that Barrymore drew? No. $99 for white, pretty good, and 93.5. The reason Svidler only played 99 is he had a missed win and a mistake. But he played 21 best moves, and Świercz played 16. Wait, that game was pretty long. A 35-move game, and he played 16 best moves? That's horrible. God. 93.5. I mean, I play better than that in Blitz like half the time. So Świercz playing that in a slow game is pretty ridiculous. Yeah, 4 good moves, 1 inaccuracy, 2 mistakes. Terrible. Yeah. Are you ashamed of yourself? Still play better than I thought. They had a Maltese. What year is this? Oh, yeah, he still plays chess. You're a pilot listening to the stream during a flight. Well, that's good. Yeah. What was the missed win? I mean, he didn't miss a win because when he was winning, probably in this position, Bishop A4 just wins, and this move it doesn't consider winning. Like this is +2, and this is like plus 1.5. Like, so he should have played here. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, okay. He won very handily after that. So, I don't know. Frankly, delicious. All right, and last but not least, we have the game Shakhriyar Mamedyarov and Fabiano Caruana. Also, it's time for the second train. Shane Wills, he got a job and he gave me 1 cent to do. It's funny, the person who's the head of air traffic controlling in Atlanta Airport is actually, he's been to our chess club. I talked to him at some tournament once. So, but he was probably here like 4 years ago. Yeah. What is the story about the guy who had a seizure and said D7 instead of the hour? I thought it was D5. That was the story. You just said the story. Grand piano. I'm dead, but here I am. 3,000 viewers. The more viewers I have, the less you donate per viewer. What? I'll tell you something sad. It's not too sad. If everybody who ever watched my stream, when they watched it, 1 second or 3 hours, gave 1 cent. 1 cent. Everyone gave 1 cent when they watched my stream. If they watched the next stream, they're going to give another cent. Okay, you see what I'm saying? All right. If that happened, that's more money than I make now. I've done the math. Man, the truth hurts. Okay, FMJ655 subscribed. Good. Mepex, 1 cent. There you go. There's a guy. Finally. Thank you. ATC was the guy at AT Chess Club. ATC guy, that's my guy. Seize and desist, gifted 5 subs. Ace Deuce, 1 cent. Mike Puddinhead went all in with 9 cents. He must be German. We need one more thing to happen to get a train. I'd be a billionaire. Yeah. Blacklisted spam. God damn. What happened? Dobragab gave he subscribed at tier 1. LJ Ganzi 1,000 centidues. That's like 3 years of streams. Oro Drew in 187. An undercover cop gave 100. Matthew Escalin gave, I don't know, 116? I don't know. I can't read that. 11 years, gifted a sub. Hooray. Never thought about being a comedian. What am I doing now? NG Weirdo subscribed. It's my dad's credit card. Good. Good. Jerzuad, 1 cent to do. ZSB, 1 cent to do. You are doing it right. Ace Deuce, 101. Storm 2709. Subscribed. And then, wait, what happened? Holden, probably not a good idea to try to hear serious opinions in chat. The undergrads at MIT are unbelievably stressed out. We had at least something every year I was there. Yeah, but that's one of the reasons, as I said, they stopped giving grades in the first year. Yeah. Yeah, he knows all of that. We did a tour of MIT and that was all discussed. Yeah. All right. Ace Deuce 101. What button to jump? Subscribed. Yeah, he knows what to expect. Marcellus Pie. Subscribed. Pie. Yeah. Now, a friend of mine graduated MIT a few years ago. I don't know, 20 years ago. Then he got his PhD in math at Michigan. Now he lives in California and has a lot of good jobs. Frankly, ridiculous. Mr. Burns 322 subscribed. Hooray! Launchpad McScott 15 centidues. Ezra's Monkey 42 centidues. ZSB again 244 centidues. You can just say Z. I just said ZSB instead of ZSB. Yeah. You've started whether he'll win this game. This game's over. I'm doing a recap. What? I'll be doing the last 2 rounds the next 2 days for the Sinquefield Cup. I'll be on the live. Have you ever had a job? I mean, I don't think Karen wants me to answer that question. So I can't answer that. Will you coach? I don't coach anybody. I just stream and do commentary and make videos and make YouTube videos and lecture and, whatever else I do. Go to the grocery store, go to the gas station, go to the car wash. And, watch TV and, play with my dogs, feed my dogs, take my dogs outside, take a shower sometimes, occasionally go to the bathroom, drink a lot of Perrier. I don't have time for any of that. Man, the Perrier takes up a lot of time. Thelonious Monster subscribed. I wonder if that's Karen's brother. You've never been so mad. Nah, he wouldn't say that. Go Thelonious. 100 centidues. I'm awesome. Not as awesome as you, Indo Queen. At the car wash. Car wash, yeah. 100 centidues. Take my money. Sure thing, Fry. Philip. Taranga. Tobias the Liar subscribed. Good. Are you the Tobias who's our Discord guy? How many Tobiases are there? Always send me goodwill. And I won't go hunting, but still. Do you believe in Canada? I blame Canada. Yay, it's Tobias the Liar. He's the new Discord guy. Now we'll have the best Discord in all of Discord. Something like that. We have the world's leading authority on Discord living in our house, but he's going to MIT soon. Yeah. Blame Kyle? What? I mean, there's no Jewish candy here. Come on, Cartman. Car wash, yeah. Go Hype Train. I can't look at games during Hype Train, then you guys stop. Let's get to level 6. Yay! Give my clothes to Goodwill. I wonder if they'll take this. Possibly. Yay! KC Zat. 200 centidues. Do you give autographs on your pictures? I mean, if people want autographs, they get autographs. Yeah, usually I sign somebody else's name. That way they're happier. How did you beat Mamedyarov? I sacrificed a rook and checkmated him like he was a little bitch. That's sort of how I did it. I don't give private lessons to anybody. My favorite rapper from Atlanta, probably not me. I don't know. Luda. Don't forget, if you're playing in Virginia this weekend in the CCA tournament with the huge prizes, they moved the playing site. It's in a different hotel. So, I'm not even kidding. That's not a joke I would make. That doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, remember that. 10 centidues. Oh, no, my bits. Man, we need 4 more subs to get to 1,200. Have you heard Ice Cube's arrest the president? I think so. Yeah. $100 centidues. Yay, Hype Train success. Good, good. 100 centidues from Lawful Waffle, 10. 15 subs, 2,100 bits, Papa John's. Have you seen Apocalypse Now? No, I saw it like 35 years ago. I love the smell of Perrier in the morning. Let's see. Young Schlami subscribed. Good, good. They said he was hung, and they was right. Berlin, the group. I don't know what to say to that. I have no more words. Man, you guys aren't old enough to have heard of Berlin and the song No More Words. Oh, well. Yeah, I was in Berlin. When I was in Berlin, it was East and West Berlin. When I was in Berlin, the wall was still there. And Trump was like, I'm like, what? Yeah. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. You were born in West Berlin. Did you have your papers? $100 centidues. When I was in Dortmund, the team coach, I was staying at his house when I was playing for the team, the guy who ran the team, and I said, do you think the wall's going to come down soon? And he said, the wall will never come down. And the next day, they were tearing down the wall. True story. So I was actually in Germany when they started tearing down the wall. And then I went back to Belgium. David Hasselhoff did that. 87 or 89. Well, it wasn't 87. Because I wasn't in Europe in 87. So I guess it was 89. Yeah, I played for Dortmund 89, 90, and 91, I think. Let's see, we had Eckhard Schmidt deal, Ludger Keitlinghaus, Matthias Tasing, Romuald. No, he didn't play for us. I played him. Yeah, Minka didn't play for us. Me. Damn, who are other players? I don't even remember their names. I remember some of them. It's hard to remember stuff from 32 years ago. Damn, who were they? Damn, I can't remember their names. Oh, Stefan Bucher played for our team too. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. What's my XP in backgammon? I haven't played backgammon since before you were born. Are you kidding me? I played badly. I probably played like a 7. Don't make fun of me. It was 25 years ago. That was 20 years ago. At backgammon, in chess it would be like 1400, I guess. 500 centidues, you the best. I did beat Falafel, but it was in chess. I've hung out with all the best backgammon players. But yeah, I just watch them play. Yay, I'm the best. Gregor Minka. There's 2 Minkas. Yeah. Yeah, he died a while ago, Falafel. Yeah. Yeah, I can show you the chess game I beat him, the one tournament game we played. We played in Blitz tournaments also. Falafel was a very funny guy. Let's see. I was black. This was in 2000. Let's see. Probably 2000. Probably about 21 years ago. That's what I'm thinking. I had black, so let me flip the board because I'm getting confused. No, that's not what happened. Yeah, he played here. He played bishop c4. Okay, I played here. Sorry, I can't remember the move order. And then, no, he played bishop f3 when I played queen g6. Damn. Thanks, Foamy Raptor. I've shown this game too, but it's hard to remember stuff from 1,000 years ago. All right. I think he did play here. Here. And he played this, which is terrible. Yeah, and I castled. Or did I play 95? I castled. He castled. And I played here. Yeah. This is where he made the losing move. Bishop f3 is bad, so I'm already equal. He played here, which loses immediately. And I took, and he blundered here. I mean, his idea was to take this, which is what he did. And if he takes that, I can just take, and I'm up a pawn. And if he tries to win a piece, I check and take back. But that wasn't his idea. He saw that I could take this, and he was going to play here. And he thought he's threatening my rook. He's threatening my knight. So I would have to play like, knight d6 or something, which is very silly. I played here, and the game's over. He can resign now. Yeah, it's just he didn't see it. I'm threatening knight takes and mate and winning his queen and so forth. Can't move his bishop because this. Yeah, now he's just dead lost. He played here. I took. Played d6, then he resigned. So now am I threatening his bishop, but if his bishop moves, I go check, queen h5 check, queen h2 mate. And that was hard to remember. All right. Guess we'll give Fabi, the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, that was like game 60 or game 75 against Falafel. But yeah, the game didn't go very long. Just 13 moves. I beat him in a blitz tournament too. I never played him backgammon, I don't think. 7.0 is this was like 25 years ago when you got a number from 0 to whatever, and the lower your number, the better you were. So the best players in the world played 1, 2, or 3, and then like pretty good players played 3, 4, 5. And then if you're over 5, then you're some joke. So I played 7, I think. So yeah, there was GNU, and there was God, what was the backgammon computer then that was like 20 years ago? What was the name of it? Somebody tell me. I forgot the name. What's the name of the backgammon engine from 20 years ago? Come on, somebody remember. Snowy. I think it was Snowy. Snowy. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, Snowy was good 20 years ago. If something happened in the last 10 years, I don't know, but I don't follow backgammon anymore. Yeah. Yeah, Falafel's name because he ate a lot of falafel when he was homeless. But yeah, his name is Matvey Natanzin, and people called him Mike. Then people called him Falafel. Now they just say R.I.P. Yeah. First he was Kid Ugly, then Kid Mo, and now just Mo. Yeah. Ever played Bill Roberti in chess or backgammon? No, I never even met him, I don't think. I don't think I did. Yeah. That's right. Ugly, pug ugly, fugly, pug ugly, but never ugly ugly. You said ugly. I said TV ugly, not ugly ugly. Falafel was like 21-30 at chess. Yeah, I talked to McGrill once. He was also pretty good at chess and backgammon. Gus Hansen's good at backgammon. Surprising. And I knew Peter Jess Thompson. And let's see, who else did I know who was good at backgammon? There's a guy who's good at backgammon and bridge, Kit Woolsey, I think. I don't think he plays chess. And Dan Harrington was good at backgammon. And so is Eric Seidel. He was good at backgammon also. This is before I was born. Although maybe not. Yeah, Dmitry Obakov is from Michigan. I knew Dmitry Obakov when he didn't play backgammon. He's like 2200 USCF. Then he got really good at backgammon. Bill Calton got pretty good too. He didn't play backgammon and got good. Gus Hansen's good at brushing his teeth. I can't verify that. You were a bass fisherman? Good for you. All right, let's look at Shak versus Fabi. They played a Nimzoindian. F3, the favorite move of Matt Larson. Now, I wonder who won this game. The guy who played F3 or the guy who didn't? Let's find out. C5 is a move. D5 is a move. This is one of the main lines. Now, if I remember correctly, and I don't, but if I do, in the Sinquefield Cup 7 or 8 years ago, I think, it might have been less than that, might have been 6 years ago. Aronian destroyed Wesley So in this position. Aronian was black. Aronian, da-da-da. I think he beat Wesley. Da, da, da. Let's see. Yeah, you're spelling his name incredibly badly, but yeah, I've played Dmitry Obakov like 10 times in chess. I think he drew once, but maybe I made that up. Maybe I won every game, but he might have drawn once. Da, 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 da. Okay, so Shaq played bishop d2, take b4, always retreat. So white has a ton of space. White has 2 bishops, but white hasn't done anything. All his pieces are here. So, it's about equal. Black has a lot of space here. And black got rid of his dark squared bishop, put all his pawns on dark squares. It's a battle of ideas. Knight e2, not the engine move. The engine does not approve. I wonder what the engine says here, because I wouldn't play ED. I would play CD. Yeah, the engine prefers CD. I mean, Shaq is pretty seedy if you ask me, but maybe he has ED. I don't know. I mean, the only way to find out is if the squares are blue. I guess ED is his game. I thought he was more seedy than ED, but maybe he's both. Yeah. Yeah, the truth hurts. It's the Viagra attack. Have you had dinner with Boris Gelfand? I mean, I've eaten with him, but I don't know if we went to dinner and, we kissed or anything. But, I know Boris pretty well. Yeah. I'm sure we've eaten at the same table, but, neither one of us cared, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, my jokes are too good for this world. I mean, this channel. I mean, you guys. Okay, he put it in H. So he wants to push his F-pawn and play queen H4 check. And this is common in the F3 Nimzo that black plays knight H5 early and tries to punish white. King F2 is unnecessary. And in this position, I was looking with the engine earlier, like when the game was live. And after this, it said black was winning and he didn't play the best way. He played the second best way. The engine wants to play queen check. G3 is forced, otherwise you lose a piece. Knight G3, taking is forced. Takes. And it likes black quite a bit, but Mamedyarov allowed this and Fabi didn't do it, which is understandable. Black's position looks a little shaky. For an engine, the engine's like, pfft. But for a person, like G5 is like the way out after white plays something like queen E2. But it looks bad for black, but the engine loves black. But it's very understandable not doing that. So Fabi just took and played G5, which is also good. Bishop C1's the best move, always retreat. Yeah, and the engine wants him to play F4 so that white never plays F4. But he played this, and then he played F4, which is a good move. Because this pawn here is stupid. It blocks the rook, it blocks the bishop. If you play F4, then he could play knight to E5 and bishop F5. There must have been a tactical reason he didn't like F4. Like H4, bishop D3, something he didn't like about it. Because if he plays here and gets away with it, the knight has E5, the bishop has F5, the pawn on F4 is restricting white. Okay, but he played this, F4, which gives away these squares. So Fabi's like, whatever, I take whatever squares I want. Okay, king G1's not the engine move. Wants him to play G3, but all right. It's obviously too complicated for humans to do. That move is reasonable. F4 is super aggressive. Bishop's coming out, queen's coming out. I agree with that move. Now, even to GMs, not just you guys, even to GMs, white's position looks ridiculous. So if you're like, well, wait a minute, this is white's position, that's ridiculous. But I agree. And the engine's like equal, so you guys are choking on your own rage. I agree. But engines like bishops, white's pawn structure is good, white has space in the center. If black doesn't have an immediate win and nothing happens for 10 moves, white's going to be fine. The engine doesn't think the black has an immediate win, so it says that white's doing okay. That's the correct move. That's also correct. That's correct. That's correct. And yeah, now the engine thinks, white's fine. White's up 2 pawns and has the 2 bishops. Queen g7. The engine prefers just playing rook e8 right away. Now for an engine, bishop takes e4 is a good move, but for a human, this move looks crazy. Because you could play rook e8 or queen d4 check or bishop e4. And the problem is if you take right away, I have rook e8 and you can't really save your bishop. And this looks terrible. But yeah, the engine just says white's better if he plays like bishop g3. And white's up material. White's threatening this. Eventually white escapes. So and this is attacked. So the engine actually likes white here, even though it looks ridiculous. It's hard to play these moves as a human because you just assume that black's just winning. Queen d4 check. But the engine's like, nope, better for white. So that's why he didn't take on e4. He got his rook into the game. Bishop g6, put it in h. Rook e8, still about equal. Queen c2. White's up 2 pawns and has 2 bishops. This pawn's weak. The king's going to be safe on h2. It just looks terrible for white, but, white has advantages also. Okay, queen d4. The engine does not like queen d4 very much. Okay, king h2. King's good on h2. Rook f7's good. Double up on the bubble up. Now, the players are getting into time trouble here because the game is so complicated, but they're actually playing pretty well. This game should end in a draw. In fact, the engine prefers white here. He played queen e2, and I remember watching the chess.com commentary, and then they were like, what? Who would play queen e2 lining it up against the rook? And that's actually a bad move. White's better if he just takes on e4. And the fact that he's up 2 pawns, black is struggling for a draw. Okay, so knight f6, which defends and attacks this. So I'm sure he saw knight f6, but he thought a long time here. It's very weird to play queen e2 when this move attacks your queen and attacks your bishop. Then you start thinking. The queen e2 is just not good. 400 centidues. Xenoid 1. Now, white's still okay here, but this is where he blundered the game away. He played queen d1, which is terrible. Queen f2, surprisingly, is considered equal by the engine, although the commentators for chess.com liked black, which I agree with. Are all the games done? Mm-mm. How'd Spencer do? He played, what?
I think he's still in there.
Okay, and then Archer?
Lost.
Aw.
Yeah.
Why can't you say he won?
Oh.
They put me on Chess TV right away when I started, so that I got 1 million people.
Yay.
Yeah. You want to have a seat, or are you doing stuff?
I have to go check on the
You came just when I finished my Perrier.
Me?
Okay.
Yeah, you want one?
Yeah. They asked me, some in the chat said, have you ever had a job? And I said, I can't answer that because Karen will be mad.
Oh.
And then I nodded a happy face. Is there any Perrier in there? Because, I drink a lot of Perrier.
There's a ton of Perrier.
But you took 3 from me and I took 2. We steal a lot of Perrier.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell the IRS.
Yeah, let me check the lighting here.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Approved.
Here's the beautiful lady.
What's everybody doing?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go check the tournament. Hey, Curious Chimpanzee. Matthew S. Cullen.
At the end of one of the,
Chris.
during one of the episodes of Curb,
Sigra.
they have a party and he says, I'm not going to have a good time. She says, yes, you will. So he bets her, although there's nothing if she wins. She has to, do stuff to him in the car. And then she's like, all right. Then they have the party and he's like, I didn't have a good time. So at the very, very end of the episode, they're driving and he says, somebody lost a bet. And she goes, ugh, and then she unbuckles her seatbelt, and then the episode ends.
Oh,
Tough episode.
Curb?
Yeah. Curb's great, but you're always falling asleep. But it's really good.
I'm never gonna forget the scene in Louis.
Yeah.
Where she, what's the actress name? She like, get on there, like he doesn't want it. He wants a BJ, but he doesn't want to reciprocate, and she gets mad.
Oh yeah. That's Melissa Leo.
Oh yeah, I love her.
Yeah, Melissa Leo won an Academy Award for The Fighter.
Man, she's fantastic.
Yeah. But did you see The Fighter?
No.
She was great. And at the end of Flight, the Denzel Washington movie, she's the prosecuting it. She questions Denzel Washington, and he cracks.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, she's in the movie for like 5 minutes.
Man,
Flight.
she's funny.
She won Academy Award for The Fighter.
Okay.
The Fighter's great.
I'll have to see.
No, I mean it's great. It's got what's his name? That crazy guy. Who's the craziest guy ever? What?
Is that the one with Rourke?
No, that's the wrestler.
Oh, that's
This is the fighter.
Oh, the fighter.
The guy who was Batman or something. I don't know. I mean, he's great. The Welsh actor. He went crazy on this guy, and they have a recording of it. They made fun of it on Family Guy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Christian Bale's in it. And then and Melissa Leo was basically unknown, and then she won Academy Award.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, if you watch The Fighter and you realize that Christian Bale's not from Boston, you're like, wait a minute, because it sounds like he's from Boston.
I know.
Yeah, I mean he's great. Yeah, he's the greatest. He's crazy. Leonardo DiCaprio, boo. Mel Gibson, boo. What happened? How'd Spencer do?
I won.
Yay! Yeah.
Got some snacks there?
That's from. Yeah, you can have some. And then how was the game? Perfect.
It was tough. I don't think it was perfect.
I saw knight d7. I moved like 6, knight f3, and that's the last position I saw.
Still theory then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of theory on knight g8.
The Brooklyn variation?
Yeah.
I prepped that.
Did you sleep until the game? No sleep till Brooklyn.
Oh, right. Actually, I was thinking of that song in my head when he played it.
So basically, at Publix, you paid nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Cool.
looks pretty good.
Yeah. They taste okay. It looks more like food than other stuff that I buy.
Right.
Well, just take one. It can't hurt
The
you.
carbs on it.
There's a lot, probably.
No. Hardly
No.
any.
All right. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, yeah. So after Queen F2 exclam, which Shaq did not play,
Oh, you can't be in here.
yeah, he bishop takes D3, G takes F6, bishop takes F1. Always play bishop takes F1. Wait, this isn't what he should do. I thought he should trade queens. Now I'm getting confused. Bishop takes D3. Oh, I'm sorry, knight G4 check. This line being equal, Hess and Krikor said, okay, but this line, they were not impressed. Yeah. Yeah, this position, they thought black was better, but the engine says white's better. Man, this is attacked, this is attacked, this is attacked, this is passed, and these are tripled pawns, and white's slightly better. The mysteries of life. So there you go. So probably Shaq saw Queen F2 and thought Queen D1 was similar, because the engine line after Queen F2 is takes, Queen G3 check, put it in H, Rook takes F1. And Shaq got a very similar position to this. Similar. And the difference is, if you play Rook takes F6 here, Bishop E5 is actually winning for white. Amazing. Because you see what I'm saying? No? All right. Yeah, if you take with the queen, I trade queens, I take this, I'm up a pawn, and my rook's crushing you. And yeah, it's just, it's attacking everything and pinning everything. So in the way that Shaq played was very similar, but Rook takes F6 was winning for Fabi. Queen D1, which is a bad move. Queen F2 is better. Queen G4 check, not Queen G3 check. And you guys are like, so? And I'm like, Wesley so? And you're like, no. If the queen was on G3, this position's equal. with the queen on g4, black is winning. Because now I play rook takes f6. Bishop here does nothing because the queen's not on g3. So I can just take it with check. And that difference actually is the game. Now black's up material. The bishop is pinned and or double pinned. The c pawn's hanging. The b pawn's hanging. Here comes the rook. So black's just winning now. So queen f2, the engine believes leads to equality, and queen d1 just loses right away. And they're in, pretty good time trouble here. But yeah, that's funny that queen f2. Now, from Shaq's point of view, when he was analyzing this in time trouble, he probably didn't think g4 was a worse square than g3. g4 looks more aggressive, but it is. So he may have seen queen f2 and thought it's very similar, but his move is better. But he was wrong. Okay. Yeah, now black's just winning. Now the commentators, Hess and Krikor, were like, oh, this is so complicated and Fabi's in time trouble. And I was like, what? Black's up in exchange and white's pawns are all hanging. Fabi's Fabi. This move's actually a blunder. Yeah, he's losing anyway, but this move loses immediately. And Fabi played rook g8 x clam. So this is funny. After rook f8, which is a terrible move, he didn't play rook f8. Now we have bishop takes d6, confusing the audience. And still good for black, but look at this variation. Takes, check. If you play rook h3, I take this. So you have to play here. Takes, and now, bam! Bishop e5 check. If you put a rook on f6, like put this rook on f6, I take and I win. This rook on f6, I play g5, and I still win. So king g8's forced. And this position, it says, is better for black. But if I was in time trouble, I wouldn't know if it was better for black or not. Because, pass pawn here, give a dog a bone. But rook a6 seems to win. But okay, if I was in time trouble, I wouldn't know that. But anyway, Fabi played more accurately. He played rook g8. And now when the queen goes to h4, now he can play rook f8 winning, just like in before, except when the queen was on g4, white could play bishop takes d6 because the pawn was defending the queen. Now you can't play bishop takes d6 because your queen's hanging. Fabi didn't play rook here, which surprised everybody because it's completely winning. The main line is bishop g5, rook f3, queen d4, cd4, gf3, and obviously black's winning here. Rook takes or d3, everything wins. So I don't know why he didn't play rook f8 because he thought forever here. The other way for white to play that doesn't just go into the lost ending is g3. Then you just take all the pawns with check. I mean, terrible. Yeah, it's like +7 for black. So I don't know why Fabi didn't go here. His move wins too. He took this, threatening checkmate and defending the rook. So he stopped checkmate. Black's just winning here. He's up in exchange for nothing. And there was a funny trick here. I want to show you the funny trick. It didn't happen, but it was funny. It was later. Yeah, it was in this position. Yeah. So in this position, surprising everybody who was watching, Mamedyarov resigned. Now, probably the reason he resigned, which they didn't mention when I was watching, because it was what I was thinking, is if I can ever sack the exchange, put my queen here, if the bishop moves, you take this. If I can ever sack the exchange, I should win with a5, a4 and make a queen. And that's nothing. And if you don't let me sack the exchange, then you're, and they found a really cool line. After queen e3, if black plays queen g8 double question mark, now white's better. Bishop takes d6. So if you take the bishop, queen e5 check wins the rook. If you take this, surprisingly, black has nothing, and white's threatening bishop e5 check, and then some. So white's actually better here. You can't play like h6 and move your king up, because actually you can do that. Oh, I just take it, yeah. I was trying to go here after bishop here check, but I can't play h6. Okay. So in this position, after here, Rook G6, Mamedyarov resigned, and Fabi still has to make 2 moves, and he had about a minute left. So they were like really shocked he resigned. Now, if you let the engine sit, it says, black's +5, +6, +7. And black's winning. There's no doubt black's winning. But they were like, why did he resign? He could have played for some tactical tricks, I guess. And they were like, he had enough because he got tricked tactically in the late middle game, and he was like, boh. So he was probably really upset. But yeah, you shouldn't resign when your opponent's in time trouble and it's some weird position. It is winning for black, but it's not resignable, especially in time trouble. Frankly, I wouldn't resign if it was in time trouble, but I don't like to resign. Yeah. So Fabi wins. Go Fabi. Yeah. Can you still play Queen G1? Well, you could, but it's illegal. It makes no sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's against the Rules Council of Rooks, so I haven't done that. Yeah, that's unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah, you can't do that. Kids do that a lot. Yeah. Whoa, what's going on? What's happening? I need an adult. What? What? No. I got to get back to what I was No. That's better. Man, even that was crazy. Man, I clicked on the wrong thing and I paid for it. No. Okay, so tomorrow, sometimes I teach a class at 7 on Wednesdays, but I won't tomorrow because I'm doing the commentary. Probably with Hess, but I'm not sure. From 4 to whenever it ends, or 3:45 for round 8, and then I'll do round 9 also. If you're in Boston this weekend, wave hi to Karen and Holden. They'll be at Cambridge moving Holden into MIT and so forth. Yeah. I've actually done Perpetual Chess Podcast 3 times. Yeah. That's right, wave high. And yeah, very good, Dr. J. Law. Good. He's going to get a JD in law and medicine or something. Go Fabio. Yeah. Also Fabio Larota. Anyway, those were the games today and so forth. Mainly and so forth. Man, the streams that I'm watching, the top 2 were poker streams. Then there's ChessCom events. Very suspicious. Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's enough for me. Thanks for donating and subbing and so forth and such. Yeah. Let's see. Who am I? What am I doing? I guess I'll raid you. I raid you. You raid me. I'm the worst person in history. What happened? Curious Chimpanzee. He gave 200 centidues. That was the best stream that I did today. All right. See you guys tomorrow on the chess.com Twitch doing live coverage of the event. Bye.